The road to WrestleMania is officially upon us. Hello, everyone. This is Neo Reality Entertainment. Royal Rumble has just come and gone. I wanted to go ahead and give my thoughts on the pay per view or special event. It doesn't really matter at this point what kind of event it is. It's just one of the big four, pretty much. The Royal Rumble has come and gone. So now let's go over my thoughts on the various matches that took place here. All six of them. The Mark Henry teaming up with Jack Swagger to take on Darren Young, Damian Sandow, the Dudley Boys, and the Ascension. Very pathetic. Not, probably the worst match of the night. Yeah, it was the worst match of the night, even though it was the pre-show. Like, come on, I know the pre-show is usually reserved for horrible matches, but come on, even they could have tried a lot better with this, even if they had Mark Henry in the match. Now, here's the thing. The highlight of the match has to be the Damian Sandow pop. Had Damian Sandow and Darren Young won, then I would have been all right with that because it's Damian Sandow, and everyone doesn't care about Darren Young at this point. Like, he's not really booked as much, but he's not the guy that we want to cheer for. It's Damian Sandow. Like, all due respect to Darren Young, but Damian Sandow's the guy I want to see wrestle again. Um, I thought for sure the Dudley Boys would split in this match. Like it certainly looked like it, where Bubba Ray was just looking at Devon for like a couple of seconds, and then follows him down the ring. Like I thought, is that a hint that they're breaking up tonight? If so, okay. So yeah, the Dudley Boys didn't break up. The Ascension. Okay, who even thought they were had a chance to win? Really? So raise your hand if you thought if they had a chance to win. No one? Okay, good. Now, Mark Henry and Jack Swagger winning, like, I can see them being a tag team group. Like, they certainly look like they could be a good tag team if they went with it. But Mark Henry winning the match, that was ultimately what I knew what was going to happen. Like, Mark Henry has teased that this will be his final Royal Rumble match. And I certainly thought, okay, that's actually kind of actually hopeful for him to win the match because, well, Mark Henry's going out. He should go out in style, and I'll get to that in a minute after when he won the match and, well, is in the Royal Rumble match, but I'll get to Mark Henry in a bit. So now we kick off the show with Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens, and I knew this was going to steal the show besides the Royal Rumble. Like, yeah, and holy crap, did they steal the show. Like, Dean Ambrose as the survivalist lunatic, everything Intercontinental Champion going against the cocky, arrogant beast Kevin Owens. And the highlight for me has got to be Kevin Owens setting up chairs in the ring and then just sitting down and just putting his legs on the other chairs and just acting arrogant. And like everything Kevin Owens is just cool. Like everything he does is cool. Like everything he does is awesome. Like I can't picture one bad thing out of Kevin Owens. Like it's hard to picture that. And he and Ambrose would later enter the Royal Rumble match. I'll get to that in a bit. So they had an awesome last man standing match. It wasn't the greatest last man standing match. It felt like it could have done something a little bit. In fact, the match for me, like I looked on the official timing, it was 20 minutes. And wait, it was 20 minutes? It felt really shorter than that. It felt literally shorter than that. I thought it was like 15 minutes at best. Like that was how fast the match felt to me. Like 1 minute I'm seeing Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens fighting, then they're crashing into tables, then all this is happening, all this anarchy and chaos, and I'm like, man, how are they still standing? Like I get Ambrose and Kevin Owens are crazy and psychotic, but seriously, the human body's not supposed to take this kind of punishment, as I quote from JR. Now, the match ended with a finish that looked like it protected Kevin Owens, though with what went down in the Royal Rumble, there's now no longer a point to it because of how what went down in the Royal Rumble match. So, yeah, if they were going to build up to him to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, they threw that away because what we saw in the Royal Rumble match signifies something completely different. But like I said, I'll get to that in a minute or in a few minutes. Doesn't know. I don't know. Like it really depends. Um, so they had a hell of a match. It was the best match of the night. that doesn't include the Royal Rumble. So props to Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens for putting on a show-stealing performance. And it really gives the Intercontinental Championship more prestige than ever since, well, it hasn't really been defending this kind of match in a long time. In fact, I don't ever recall it ever happening. So, yeah, I gotta give props for them for that. Okay, the New Day versus the Usos. Okay, I'll just be honest. The highlight has got to be Francesca. Francesca the second. And Xavier Woods' antics, and also the commentary. I'll get back to the tag teams. I need to go on a brief tangent. The commentary was just horrible. Like, the highlights of them have to be The Miz, Xavier Woods, and Kevin Owens harassing them. Like, that was the fun part of it. Like, that was the most funniest moments on commentary they had, and that's really actually kind of sad. So, yeah, not a great night for the commentary team, but the New Day and the Usos, they put on as much as they could from what we've seen many times over. It just doesn't feel, after you see it so many times, you don't really feel invested as much. Like, I want the New Day to win, and the Usos, they're not really interesting. Like, yeah, they do good matches, but they're not really interesting. They don't have a certain direction to them that makes you say, I have to be laser focused on this. But yeah, the Usos just seem to be in limbo for a bit. And I think this match was originally going to be a triple threat tag team match had Sin Cara not gotten hurt and John Cena not gotten hurt. But the New Day managed to retain their tag team titles with, once again, the aid of Xavier Woods and Francesca. And then afterwards got kicked in the face. And Big E tagged himself in after blinding I can't tell which Uso it was, but using Kofi as a way to blind one of the Usos, and, well, got the big ending, and the New Day retains to live to fight another day with us, the Tag Team Champions. Oh, wait, I forgot. As the WWE Tag Team Champions! I really hope their reign ends at WrestleMania 32, because that sounds like the perfect place to end it. But, like, I'm going to enjoy the New Day as much as I can before the big WrestleMania 2 loss. WrestleMania 32 loss. And, well, I can't wait what the New Day's going to do for the next 2 months. Or 3. So, Kalisto versus Del Rio. Like, heading into this match, there was no sense of caring at this point. Like, I had a feeling Kalisto was going to win. And also, the fact that he won it on Raw and he might win it again, it's not going to feel as special because they wasted that big popping moment for it on Raw. And then he lost it, and it should have just been a title defense match for Kalisto, not a rematch. So, yeah, why? So, Kalisto and Del Rio, they tried the best they could. Like, I can acknowledge that. They tried their best, but ultimately, they kind of failed in their match. Like, if you were to take out the tag team match on the pre-show, then this would have been the worst match of the night because it was filled with botches. They made mistakes from here and there. Like, Kalisto and Sin Cara are obviously trying. But, yeah, they're just not doing it good. Like it's not as good as their match on Raw. So, I don't know how they're going to fix that if they do another match, but I'm hoping. And, of course, Kalisto won with the Selena Del Sol. And, like I said, it just didn't feel as special as it was the first time. So, you don't get that feeling of a big moment, like, this is an important moment, this is an important moment. But really, it's just the same, like, yeah, okay, like, I'm glad for Kalisto finally getting the opportunity, but man, they really should have not wasted it on Raw, considering how the booking went. This should have been a title defense for Kalisto. So, yeah, and I also noticed that Kalisto and Del Rio botched a move that was obviously trying to get into a small package, I think it's called. But, and, like, Kalisto realized this and somehow managed to reattempt, like, that was part of his plan in the middle of the botch. Like, I hardly ever see that. Like, normally they just they just do the botch and that's it. I've never seen them try to fix the botch in the middle of it, so I have to give props to Kalisto for trying to fix it, but Yeah, the match wasn't really good. It was a technical match, but filled with botches that caused some issues. So yeah, they really need to. If they ever do another match, they have to try again next time. Here's to hoping Kelly Stone Dario can do another good match. Now we get to Charlotte and Becky Lynch. Um, really, I gotta be honest. If this was an NXT, I would have been a whole hell of a lot for it. Like I love the build they done, though. Really, except for the Ric Flair parts, like it just feels like Ric Flair's trying to be in his daughter's place and try to defend what he believes is his title. So yeah, it's just weird booking for me on that. But Becky Lynch and Charlotte have done a good storyline, but I wasn't as excited for their match because, well, they could do a lot better in NXT than they can on the main roster. So heading into that, I was hoping that okay, at least they get half of the amount of time they do, and they got half of the amount of time. Now I'm not going to talk about this match a lot because I kept having buffering issues with my WWE Network on Apple TV and on my iPhone when my Apple TV kept failing on me on that. So yeah, and ultimately I think they said that Becky Lynch was kissed by Ric Flair, and I'm like, really? That's the best distraction you could come up with? Um, okay, this is kind of awkward. Yeah, this is kind of awkward. And yeah, it just didn't feel as invested, and Becky Lynch slapped Ric Flair, but Ric Flair no-selled it. I don't know. Like I said, my network was acting up at this time. So Charlotte gets help from Ric Flair. Ric Flair pretty much retains the belt because at this point it's not really Charlotte doing the work, it's Ric Flair doing the work, and it looks like he's trying to capture the glory days of his wrestling past, and really it's costing his daughter some momentum. I just don't feel invested with Charlotte because Ric Flair keeps getting in the way with this. I'm like, it's not his fault, I'm sure. It's possibly the WWE booking, also known as the Kevin Dunn NXT discrimination booking, as I like to call it now. And of course, then the return of the boss happened, and this was the real highlight of the match. The boss, Sasha Banks, has returned from injury. As much as she denied it, it was reported she was injured and will be back another month later. And of course, a month has passed. I think I'm pretty certain if she's not, if she wrestles tomorrow night on Raw, then yeah, then she's back from injury. But ultimately, we don't know until Raw happens. So Becky Lynch is kicked in the head by Sasha Banks and thrown out of the ring and attacks Charlotte after what looked like a gesture of friendship. And of course, what to be expected, we get the Banks statement, and Sasha Banks pretty much makes her submit, and Ric Flair's just standing there with his mouth open, like, do something, just stop acting surprised. Like, this is Sasha Banks. She's done this like numerous times. She made a little girl cry. Do you not remember seeing that? Oh, wait, that's right. You can't really acknowledge NXT as much because, well, to Kevin Dunn and Vince, that's a separate universe. Like, yeah, I know they acknowledge NXT at times, but they don't talk about that. They don't really like bring in continuity from NXT to the WWE because that would be insulting to Dunn. So yeah, that was pretty much the big highlight. And this is obviously going to build up to a match at either Fastlane or WrestleMania. But with Becky Lynch attacked, is it going to lead to a triple threat match at Fastlane, then a WrestleMania match between Sasha Banks and Charlotte? If so, I can't wait to see what happens. So people predicted this months ago, so it's not as impactful because you kind of saw it coming a mile away. Because, well, who's the only logical choice? Nikki Bella's injured, and she has pretty much outlived her usefulness by WWE for surpassing AJ Lee's reign. There's nothing left for her to do, pretty much. And now, looks like it's time for new blood, as much as Kevin Dunn hates that. And especially them being Triple H girls. So, we get to the big one. the Royal Rumble match. I was heavily nervous about this match. Like, I thought WWE booked themselves into a corner, like they had a no-win situation. Like, if Roman Reigns wins the match, then the fans are going to lash out on him and we're back to square one. But if Roman Reigns loses the match, people are going to complain still that, well, he's just going to win the title back at WrestleMania. Like, yeah, they booked themselves in a losing situation here. They should have went with Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble, and then having the winner of the Royal Rumble be for the main event of WrestleMania. That should have been the obvious scenario, but no, that and the only logical choice. But this is WWE. They think we don't know any better. So Roman Reigns starts at 1, Rusev starts at 2. Rusev's quickly eliminated, so basically there was no point in caring about that, and it kind of shows where Rusev is heading towards in terms of the booking if he's getting. I mean, like, he just came off of the worst love story ever and a Ryback feud that ended up nowhere. So, yeah, my investment in him is totally there. And then number 3 came out, and we were all wondering who's number 3. Like, it's gonna be someone the Authority doesn't like, and oh my God, it's AJ Styles. Like, I saw it coming with all the rumors happening and WWE acknowledging the rumors. Like, I knew AJ Styles was gonna come and join the Royal Rumble, but I didn't think it would be so early. Like, I felt like WWE might have blew their load too soon on that. Like, I felt like, yeah, that was way too soon. And, well, yeah, this Royal Rumble match was actually kind of star-studded. It was more star-studded than usual. I mean, like, it could have been much brighter had, Cesaro, John Cena, Seth Rollins, and all these other wrestlers get injured. And I can't believe I just quoted using John Cena as an example because, well, I hate his guts with a passion. Seriously, can you stop with the charity? I do charity work, therefore you must like me promos. Then I might start respecting you again as a human being. So, yeah, if all these injuries didn't happen, we had a much more star-studded match. But the Royal Rumble we got was okay. Like, yeah, I kind of had a feeling who the winner was going to be. He hasn't been seen in a month. And they did what, and here's the weird thing. WWE went with logical scenarios. Like, everyone was fearing AJ Styles would get eliminated by Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns doesn't eliminate him. Instead, it's Kevin Owens. And he yells out, "Welcome to the WWE!" And, like, once again, Kevin Owens, you're the cool guy. And then even after he eliminated him, he grabs Dean Ambrose, I think it was, and carries him over, but then waves bye-bye to AJ Styles. So, like, I don't believe this is going to be the last of them. So we might see a few with them, though that's now derailed a bit since, well, what happened next. Sami Zayn returns to the makes his Royal Rumble debut and eliminates Kevin Owens, who later gets eliminated by Luke Harper. So WWE is. So they didn't hit Brock Lesnar versus Kevin Owens, so that's off the table most likely. And, well, they're hinting either AJ Styles or Sami Zayn's going to feud with Kevin Owens heading into WrestleMania. So I can't wait for that. And they also hinted Dean Ambrose versus Chris Jericho. Then they really pushed it for me when the League of Nations attacked when they attacked pretty much John Cena because they can't exhibit Roman Reigns. Like, yes, even I'm acknowledging that, yeah, Roman Reigns is getting this John Cena treatment, and I really hate that, and I'm not blaming him like a lot of fans like to do. He's not the level of John Cena yet in terms of booking. So, yeah, Roman Reigns gets put out of the match way early, and I thought that was an insult because Roman Reigns does have the talent, he does have the appeal, he can actually do a great match. He got a 4-star match out of the Big Show for crying out loud. And yet, once again, WWE believes that they need to protect him because they think he's not capable of stealing the show in the Royal Rumble again. So, yeah, I was against that. So he was gone for most of the match. Yeah, you might as well have just had him enter at number 28 and ask someone else to enter at the Royal Rumble a lot earlier. So R-Truth, oh, let me get to R-Truth. Oh man, he was the biggest highlight in the match. That wasn't predictable. Like, I knew our troop was gonna do something stupid, but even I didn't see this coming. He goes in, grabs a ladder, climbs up the ladder, believing it's a Money in the Bank match or for the world title, and once again he plays the fool. Oh man, I can't wait for what he's gonna do. Like here's my next prediction for R-Truth's gimmick. He's going to go ahead about a week before WrestleMania, come out during the Triple H Roman Reigns angle, since they obviously hinted that happening, and is gonna say, "I am the winner of the Royal Rumble match, and I will cut Roman Reigns and Triple H down to size." And why my accent like this, I do not know. This one's on me. I cannot imitate R-Truth. I am a bad imitator. So then we got number 30, Triple H. Yeah, kind of saw that coming. After being gone for a month, you really think that was going to be the logical? You really think it was going to be someone else? Oh, poor bastard. Oh man. And Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family eliminated Brock Lesnar. That was Brock Lesnar's first ever elimination from the Royal Rumble. He eliminated the Wyatt family, but the Wyatt family eliminated him, and they obviously are building towards Bray Wyatt versus Brock Lesnar. For God's sakes, do not do Braun Strowman. I mean, like, I know someone in the comment section said that's a dream match, though I have a hard time telling you they were joking or not. Though they might be serious. I really don't know. This is the internet. But for God's sake, Braun Strowman's just not ready for that. He's not ready to be put in a main event status yet. I'm like, you said Roman Reigns wasn't ready, but at least they gave him 2 years to build himself up instead of Braun Strowman, who's been given 6 months or less. Like, he's been around since August, so it's been like, what, 6 or less months? And he's only done tag team matches and hardcore matches. So really, he needs to improve himself before he can be thrust into that upper echelon. Whereas Roman Reigns, they gave him 2 to 3 years, and they gave him a lot to improve on. A lot of singles matches, a lot of tag team matches where he managed to be by himself for most of the time. So he was clearly more ready than Braun Strowman. Like, I'm not going to defend them shoving him down our throats because he should have went over organically, but I have to. But I'm still a huge fan of Reigns. Don't get me wrong. I'll be the one to come to Reigns' defense, but even I'll acknowledge that WWE is making more mistakes with Reigns, and it's not his fault. That's the one thing I like to point out. It's not Reigns' fault. It's Vince, and most likely Kevin Dunn, because Reigns is a Triple H guy, and like I said, they're like, to Vince and Dunn, they're like the worst species to ever form in the wrestling industry. So Triple H enters at number 30. And okay, before I get to that, I was really expecting more from Brock Lesnar. Like, yeah, he ravaged the Royal Rumble match, but I was expecting him to like snap, break everything around him, get back in the ring, and then eliminate Bray Wyatt. Then they really could have oversold the whole, yeah, he's gonna be in the match. They're gonna have a fight. Can't wait for that. And they gave a lot of hints of what's WrestleMania 32 gonna be. Like they gave, well, like I said, either AJ Styles or Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. They gave Chris Jericho versus Dean Ambrose. They gave Roman Reigns versus Triple H. And I was finally fucking glad that they finally went to fists at each other. Like, I was finally glad they finally did that. Like, I was like, yes, we finally got it, you beautiful bastards. Finally! They're finally fighting! Do you not know how long I waited for this? It's been what? 2 years I waited for this? Since 2014 I waited for them to kill each other? Now I have to wait a few more months because, well, WrestleMania is going to happen and that's most likely the main event match. So I have to wait for 2 more months. I don't know how I'll survive. I'm most likely we'll get Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at Fastlane, so yeah, I'll be all good. And Kofi Kingston, he gets eliminated off screen. Yeah, that's insulting in my opinion. Like, he didn't really do anything spectacular, just be carried by Big E. This is a sign they clearly have run out of stuff for Kofi Kingston to do the impossible with. Now they just letting other people carry him. So Triple H enters at number 30. Roman Reigns and him fight. Roman Reigns is then Sheamus returns to the ring because he entered at number 29 and then gets eliminated. And then Triple H eliminates him. And then the other big highlight, other than them finally fighting, Roman Reigns and Triple H finally fighting, was Bray Wyatt and Triple H staring down like, yeah, this is going to happen soon. Like, this is really going to happen. Like, I can't wait. Like, Triple H tried to convince Bray Wyatt, but Bray Wyatt, knowing that his message is to take down the machine, i.e. the Authority, yeah, this is the symbol of defiance. And I'm pretty certain we're going to see repercussions in the future for Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family heading forward with the Authority. So I can't wait what's going to happen if they go with that. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. So they eliminate Roman Reigns, and I did not see that coming, honestly. I thought Roman Reigns was going to be the last two, would be the final two with Triple H. But no, they instead gave the final two to Dean Ambrose and Triple H. And the fact Dean Ambrose came close to winning this means that WWE is becoming more and more confident with Dean Ambrose. And I was like, okay, maybe they're actually going to give him a chance. Maybe they're going to eventually give him the world title this year. Maybe next year, most likely. Like, I mean, like, they're going to give Reigns the chance to break CM Punk's record, and this time at WrestleMania. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to do that. So, 2018 maybe? Yeah, I know a lot of people are going to be mad about that kind of obvious logic, but, well, we have to think WWE. They hate Punk. They'll punish AJ Lee. They'll do this despite them. Do that. And like I said, I have no problems with them breaking the record so long as it's executed well, like they should have done with Nikki Bella. But considering she's John Cena's girlfriend, she has no motivation to try. So Triple H and Dean Ambrose go at it, and Triple H eliminates him to become a 14-time world champion. And I knew that was coming because, Dean Ambrose is the Intercontinental Champion. Like, they would never go with another double champion again. In that sense, 2000. If this was the 2000s, maybe the early 2000s to mid 2000s, then yeah. But now, WWE doesn't believe in taking that kind of chance anymore. Like, yeah, they did Seth Rollins and John Cena, but really, that was a pretty pointless reign. They didn't do like the two-man power trip double champions or Shawn Michaels. They didn't do that kind of double champion. So Triple H is now a 14-time world champion. He's only 2 more reigns away from tying Ric Flair's reign, and I honestly would be all for that because Triple H has idolized Ric Flair and emulated to be like him at times. So I would be all for that, including Randy Orton breaking the record. John Cena, for God's sakes, please. He doesn't deserve a thing other than a swift kick out of the company or retirement. So, yep, the Royal Rumble's over. Triple H is the winner. I'll be working on my WrestleMania on WWE 24 WrestleMania 31 video after I see it. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate, and stay tuned for more.